Somebody lying. All right. I'm going to put it out there right now. Somebody telling a bold-faced lie. And when you look at the history of these people in question, in which still I'm talking about, which is Tory Lanes and Megan the Stallion, Megan has told an abundance of lies over a period of time, and Tory's just kept quiet. And all he said was, when the facts start to come out, y'all gonna be looking crazy. And there's a lot of y'all out there who are looking crazy right now because the facts are not matching up with what Megan is saying. So somebody lying, and it don't look like it's Tory Lanez. Now, I'm no gun expert, but I do watch a lot of criminal court TV. And I do know that during forensic files, they showed me that if you got gunpowder on your hands, then that means that you had to pull the trigger on a weapon in order for it to ignite and send those fibers or those vapors or whatever back onto your skin and your clothing. That's the only way that you can get that on your skin and on your clothing is if you are the shooter of that weapon. So if Tory Lanez does not have the gunpowder on his hands and Kelsey does, what are we arguing about in court at this point? And now all of a sudden, oh, the shrapnel that came out of her feet, it automatic it somehow disappeared. And I can't even get my words out because I'm so flabbergasted behind this buffoonery. Oh, so you mean to tell me, oh, now all come on, we've seen this play out many times on uh Law and Order or any cop show. If you don't want something to go to trial, or if somebody don't want something to take place, then all of a sudden evidence get missing. You know what I'm saying? So come on, we're not stupid. Quit trying to insult our intelligence with these stupid old tricks. I say this time and time again. We're not stupid. We're in a new age. We're in an age to where those old, obsolete lies and deception does not work on us anymore. So y'all need to stop it because you're really pissing people like me off because you're insulting my intelligence. I never fell for the stupid crap in the first place. And to see y'all still trying to use it on somebody is just annoying at this point. It's annoying at this point. It's like a dumb person is trying to use their dumb logic on a smart person and they continue to fail, but they keep on doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different outcome. And that's called insanity. So all of these insane ass people out here continue to run with these lies and continue to ignore all of the truths that's coming out. Now, we look at the Breakfast Club, who reported on this yesterday, and Angela Yee, I got a beef with you. I got a real big gripe with Angela Yee because Angela Yee is very biased. Angela Yee will jump on a woman's side, no questions asked, before she would even think about considering that a man is innocent in these situations. And you can tell in her voice, the inflection in her voice, and the way she was wording it, that she wants so bad for Tory Lanez to be guilty of this. And it's not going to happen because Megan is lying and Tory Lane's lawyer is not going to come out and give certain particular information like the gunpowder not being on Tory's hands, but being on Kelsey's hands. That's a major thing. And then another thing is this independent witness who states that they saw what took place and that the gun flash came from closer to Kelsey than it did from Tory. So I have to know the positioning of the people in the car. I that's something that's going to explain a whole lot because I don't know how they were positioned in the car. Was Tory in the driver's seat? Was he driving? Was he in the front passenger seat? Was he in the back seat? Was Megan and Kelsey in the back seat? What was the positioning of the people in the car? If I can get that information, then that's going to answer a whole lot of questions as well, because there's certain things that can't be done from certain positions and trajectories. And like I said, I watch forensics files all the time, and so they have this method to go in and show you the entry point, the direction, the trajectory that it came from, the distance that it came from, and everything. So forensics has already got the answers to the questions that y'all have. They're just not letting it out because they're in trial right now. But I guarantee you, by the end of this trial, a lot of y'all feminists who've been dogging this young man for absolutely no reason are going to come to find that there's a bigger play at hand. There's something a lot bigger at hand happening with Tory Lanes. Because let's rewind back to about 2018, 2019. In 2018, 2019, Tory Lanez was a real huge advocate of showing these new artists how to make money on the independent scene without utilizing these big labels and without being taken advantage of being put in a 360 deal with these labels. And what has that done? That has caused a whole lot more independent artists. This has caused a whole lot more independent record labels. You have guys like Russ who are pushing this topic. You have so many people out here who are pushing the topic of owning your own masters. Own your own masters. Be your own label. Only if you have to seek anything from the big labels, just seek a distribution deal. Tory Lanez headed that, and he was showing people how to do it. He was being a live demonstration of how to do that. And the industry didn't like that. And so you know what they do to people who take money out of their mouth. And so Tory Lanez is getting the Bill Cosby special. Now, I hate to say it like that, but that's the absolute truth. Tory Lanez is getting the Bill Cosby special. He's stepped on the toes of these big radio, these big, what's the word I'm looking for? Record labels. Wow, I be having brain farts sometimes. Forgive me, y'all. It's early in the morning. But yeah, these big record labels, man, and there's only a few, and they all work in conjunction with each other. They make it seem like they're in competition with each other, but no, they work in conjunction with each other to keep everybody under a tight knit level of control. And so, go to a Sony, you go to whoever, they're all tied in together. They all have the same template of how to treat an artist or how to cheat an artist and everything else. They all have the same formula. So I'm glad to see this tide turning, because I did a episode earlier talking about the evolution of basketball by by LeVar Ball. Then I spoke about the evolution of football being created by Deion Sanders. And now we see an evolution in music. We see a tide changing. We see something happening to where Black people in particular, are into ownership. We're discussing ownership. We're practicing and demonstrating ownership. And that is not what they want. They want the ignorant, dumb Black child who's going to go out and cause chaos and have a destructive life and bring so many millions of Black children with them. That's what they want. but they're not getting that anymore. And so what's going to be the next thing? Well, if they can't continue to control these rappers and influence them to live the destructive life, then they're going to destroy the power and influence of the genre as a whole. That's the next thing. Because if rap goes back to being positive like it was in the 80s and 90s and imparting some good things into the black community and black people to uplift them and give us a different narrative, they're going to destroy the genre as a whole. I promise you on everything. Watch what I say. I'm gonna go ahead and leave on that because I think that is definitely enough. That covers what I wanted to say. That definitely gives people where I stand on this whole Tory Lanes and Megan the Stallion thing. Megan lies constantly. She constantly lies. She lied about her contract when she was going through her contract issues and she was claiming that she wasn't getting paid what she deserved. Well, she probably wasn't, but that was the contract that you signed. And just because you signed the contract, not knowing what was in that contract does not mean that that man did you wrong, because the contract that he gave her was a standard artist contract, and she's a first time artist. Nobody's gonna go in and give you a deal as if you're gonna blow up. They're gonna take precautions and safeguards against losing money because they're investing in your potential to be something, not what you think you are. And so she goes in and she thinks she deserves more. Maybe so. Morally speaking, maybe so. But if that man decides to go by the guidelines of the contract, then he's within every right to do so. Because I guarantee you, if there was something that Megan was doing that would have breached the contract, then this would have been a whole different issue. If Megan would have uh, if Megan would have seen that her album is not doing anything, it's not selling. So what if this was the scenario? I'm painting a new scenario just to make a point. So say Megan came out and her album was not popping like that, and she pretty much tanked on her first album. Now, if she tanked on that first album and the record label came back and said, okay, well, you owe me this and you owe me that and you owe me that, she would have felt some type of way, right? Because those people are recouping the money that they invested in her potential to become a star. See, you can't have it both ways. She wants her cake and to eat it too. I do want to stop and say this, because despite her lack of character, when it comes to these issues, she did finish college, she did graduate, and she did get her degree. So I do salute you for that, sister. But this lying and all of this attitude and all of this double crossing that you've gotten yourself into, you need to back up and sit down somewhere, because you don't understand the music business enough to put yourself in these types of positions that you're putting yourself in, Meg. You don't. And so you need to sit down somewhere, enjoy the position that you're in, enjoy the fact that you were able to get your degree, and move forward and be a positive image for these females out here if that's your true intent. But don't be out here doing this crap that you're doing. Because for one thing, I had a critique of you a while back when I stated that you go out here and you promote prostitution to these girls and you promote them dogging dudes out, and you never encourage relationships, but yet behind the scenes you constantly running behind dudes seeking all of those things that you're discouraging these other women out here from having, because of the agenda that you're pushing through your music. So stop being fake. All right. Stop being fake, because that's exactly what you are, Megan. And people are seeing you for the fakeness that you are presenting in yourself. And we don't like it, and we gonna call you out about it. We don't care nothing about your fan base. We don't care nothing about any of that. Your team, we don't care about none of that. If you not real, if you not right, we calling you out. Period. So yeah, this is your boy D Mac, man. I'm gonna go ahead and leave on this note. Once again, salute to Megan for the accomplishments that she's made musically and personally. But I tell you this, your relationships, you need to sit down and chill because your relationships is the downfall or the downward spiral of your entire career right now. So just sit down, relax, reevaluate your life, Megan. Reevaluate your life because the things that are coming out right now about you are not looking good for you. What's going on, bro? You said you rock. I'm rocking with Tory too, man. I've been rocking with Tory from the beginning for the simple fact that there was way too many holes in her story. Her story did not add up. Now, I did see her get out of the car and start walking backwards towards the police. Her foot was bleeding and all of that. But like I said, this just way too fishy because if somebody shoots somebody, you're going to go to jail, period, point blank. I ain't seen Tory Lanes in jail, none of that. This is way too much for it to just be what Megan say it is because nobody is going to shoot somebody, especially a high profile person, and not go to jail. And then now, like I said, all of this information coming out, Kelsey got the gunpowder on her hands. How would she have gunpowder on her hands if she didn't have a gun and she didn't discharge that weapon? Because just holding a gun is not going to make gunpowder fly out on your hand. Only way that's gonna happen is if that pin hit the back of that bullet and that explosion causes that gunpowder to fly out of that chamber onto your hands and your clothing. That's the only way you're gonna get it on there. So they can't lie about that. They can't explain that away. I don't care how much of I don't care how much of a following you got. And I think Megan, she kind of I think she kind of bit off a little bit more than she could chew. She thought she had enough clout. She thought she had enough pull that people was just gonna believe whatever she say, and it definitely ain't going down like that. So, Megan, I hope you get canceled if you lying because you don't deserve anything that you have. If you trying to destroy this man's life to try to save your friend, I don't know what your number is, but this your boy D Mac, man. I'm about to get out of here. Y'all know what I say, man. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but the word can always heal you. I'm out.